Hello and welcome to Pushing Back, Ukraine Daily Brief. As the war enters its 1020th day, these are the main developments from the past 24 hours. The update from the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. Russia has lost approximately 754,590 troops in Ukraine since the beginning of the war. The number, which has not been independently verified, includes 1,220 casualties over the past day. According to the released Ukrainian figures, Russia lost 18 armored combat vehicles, 3 artillery systems, 22 drones, 2 cruise missiles, 24 vehicles, and 1 piece of special equipment. The Russians launched 178 combat clashes and carried out 12 airstrikes, including 24 anti-aircraft missiles on the territory of Ukraine. They also 444 kamikaze drones and carried out 2,500 attacks on the positions of Ukrainian troops and settlements using various types of weapons. In its latest intelligence update, the UK's Ministry of Defence reports the Ukrainian armed forces successfully targeted and destroyed 2 Russian S-400 air defence systems in November 2024. The first was in Kursk Oblast on November 23, and the second was in Simferopol, Crimea, on November 29. The destruction of the latter system was accompanied by an explosion and detonation of rocket fuel, as evidenced by satellite imagery showing impact craters, dispersed debris, and emergency response vehicles. In its latest intelligence update, the Institute for the Study of War. The rapid collapse of the Assad regime in Syria, a regime that the Kremlin helped prop up since 2015, is a strategic political defeat for Moscow and has thrown the Kremlin into a crisis as it seeks to retain its strategic military basing in Syria. The Kremlin reportedly secured an agreement on December 8 with unspecified Syrian opposition leaders to ensure the security of Russian military bases in Syria, but the contours of this arrangement and its longevity remain unclear given the volatile and rapidly evolving political situation on the ground in Syria. ISW has collected strong indicators that Russia has been setting conditions to evacuate its military assets from Syria and that Russian military basing is not secure. Even if Russia maintains some or all of its bases in Syria, it is a major geopolitical loss for Moscow, as Russia's continued basing in Syria will be at the mercy of Syrian opposition groups that the Kremlin previously used to call terrorists. The loss of Russian bases in Syria will have major implications for Russia's global military footprint and ability to operate in Africa. Russian ultranationalist milbloggers, many of whom fought in or covered the Syrian war, are upset about the fall of the Assad regime, criticizing it as yet another failure of Russian foreign policy to exert and maintain influence in areas of strategic importance. The U.S. Department of Defense announced on December 7 an additional military aid package for Ukraine worth $988 million. Russian authorities detained alleged terrorists in the Republic of Dagestan on December 7 amid growing Russian milblogger claims that the fall of former Syrian President Bashar al-Assad's regime in Syria will foster terrorism in Russia. Russian forces recently advanced in Kursk Oblast and the Pokrovsk and Vuhledar directions. One of Russia's largest microchip manufacturers has reportedly begun bankruptcy proceedings. In President Zelensky's nightly address, he spoke about 3 key areas. Firstly, revamping warrior training and frontline operations. President Zelensky announced personnel changes to enhance the training quality of Ukrainian warriors, appointing Ola Apostle and Mikhailo Drapati to lead the reforms. A detailed review of training needs and immediate changes is underway, emphasizing the impact of training on battle effectiveness and soldier safety. Reports from Commander-in-Chief Syrskyi highlighted frontline operations and additional funding needs for drone procurement, with plans to significantly increase brigade resources. Secondly, strengthened international collaboration on defense. Estonia's new Prime Minister, Kristen Michal, visited Ukraine, discussing joint efforts to equip brigades and defend Europe. Training initiatives were highlighted, with France training 1 brigade and plans for another under discussion. The US is also training a Ukrainian brigade in Germany. Additionally, talks with Nordic and Baltic partners aim to prepare another brigade, bolstering European defense cooperation. Lastly, key engagements with Germany on military support. Friedrich Merz, leader of the German opposition, met with Zelensky to discuss critical support, including NATO membership prospects and the provision of Taurus and long-range missiles. Germany's contributions to Ukraine's air defense were commended, with discussions emphasizing the need to weaken Russia's military potential for expedited peace. Plans for a European coordination group involving Germany, France, the UK, Italy, and Poland are underway to ensure unity and effective support. Thanks for following today's updates. Please don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. We'll return tomorrow with the latest news on the ongoing conflict.